I've been pretty lucky here at this channel. Over the last year, I've been able to handle some amazing knives. From members of Kripple Krew who have sent their own knives in, to the LeftyEDC pass around, to awesome companies that I have partnerships with. I've really been able to handle what I think are some amazing knives. Today is still special because I'm bringing you two Premium Knife of the Year candidates in the Kansept Deadite and a knife that made me eat my words, the Kizer Silverwing. You're going to want to see this one, folks. Stick around. What it do, Kripple Krew? EDC with DVD, disabled by deadly, and we have two beautiful knives to look at today, coming at us from Kansept and Kizer, courtesy of the LeftyEDC pass-around group. If you've seen my Kansept content lately, Kansept content, not easy to say, you know that I have really been thinking that they've been having a killer year. Knives like the Satin, the Tipper, the ODD21, the Cryo, just amazing knives. Whoops. And I think this might be the best of the bunch. It's definitely going to be on a lot of people's short list for Import Knife of the Year Premium. And what it is, we're looking at an 8.23 inch overall length with a 3.52 inch clip point S35VN blade with a flat grind and a beautiful satin finish. We have a closed length of 4.78 inches, a blade stock thickness of 118 thousandths, and a weight coming in at 4.44 ounces. This is a titanium frame lock. We are perfectly centered, and the titanium frame lock has different fat carbon overlays or even Damascus overlays with one of the Damascus versions. They do also have Damascus blades. We are locked up at about 50%, and we do have a hardened steel lock bar insert. The knife is actuated with either the dual-sided thumb studs, and I just had to get my finger off the middle finger off the lock bar. It's actually pretty easy to stay off the lock bar on this one, because it acts more as a bolster lock, as you can see. So down here, I'm not putting pressure on the lock, but as long as I have my fingers on that pocket clip anyway, it flies out. And the detent on this is tuned to perfection. It truly feels assisted with as little energy as it takes to launch it, but listen, it launches so hard every time. Here's some acoustics. They just wax. And then when you drop it, it wants to just close. Beautiful action. Our ergos on this, I wear an extra large size glove, and I have plenty of room for my hands to get a 4-finger grip behind the pivot. A 2X or 3X glove would have no issues. I can actually choke back even if I needed some reach. That flipper tab, I can use that as a trigger pull choke up if I needed to for a little bit of control, but it's definitely a sharpening choil, not a finger choil. However, if you really wanted some insane ergos on this, because of yes, this is running on internal stop pins, you could actually do a flipper removal and have that whole flat spot right up there behind the blade if you wanted to. We don't have any jimping, but behind that flipper tab, because of the thumb ramp on the top of our blade, I am absolutely locked in. I don't feel like this is going anywhere, and these contoured scales fill my hand very nicely. The titanium and the fat carbon is contoured very well, and it's very, very comfortable. Pinch grip,
Very easy. I also could throw my finger up there in a utility grip to use that nice precise point. It's large, the handle's large enough and comfortable enough that I can easily turn it around to cut some straps. If this is the blade that was on me and I needed it to in a beef jerky Avenger situation, I am comfortably capped off. And because of that flipper tab, I have zero worries that I'm going to slide up on that blade. Also, as you can see, I'm putting pressure on that lock bar with my grip, squeezing it tighter so that that blade is not going to be able to fail. I'm capped off here in a beef jerky Defender, and now that pocket clip is locked into my hand as well. This knife is not going anywhere. Speaking of pocket clip, our pocket clip is tip up as the gods intended. Mostly deep carry, milled, really good looking titanium pocket clip that is right hand only. Oh, that action. Let's look at some size comparisons right quick. Y'all know I gotta throw out the Spyderco PM2 Wharncliffe Rendition, which is going to come in just slightly shorter than the Kansept Deadite. It's absolutely a full-size knife. Here's another one out of my pocket. Another fantastic new premium knife, full size. This is the Monster Ferox, which is slightly shorter, but as you can see, we do have more grip area because of the way this flipper tab is designed. These knives right now, from the 9th to the 11th, are on early bird sale, and you can get these starting at less than $200. I love this with the dark matter green fat carbon. Right now, during the early bird sale with Go DBD, this one's only $215. I will link these below, but there's another size comparison for you. Two more. How about the Cold Steel 8015, which is almost the exact same length as our Kansept Deadite. And the last will be the other knife we're going to look at in a moment, the Kizer Silverwing, which is a fair amount shorter. Another beautiful clip point, though. Look at those two blades together. Kansept always puts wicked edges on their blades, and this tall flat grind really gets down to a slicey edge. As you can see, we do have a little bit of a Tanto point, a secondary tip, I should say, down here, which in the beginning you can use as a secondary tip, and it will be, you know, semi-useful as that. But after one sharpening or so, this is going to turn into a regular bellied clip blade, or clip point blade. So I wouldn't be nervous about sharpening this. S35VN is one of the original Super Steels. It's going to be very corrosion resistant, nice and tough, and it's going to hold an edge for a decent amount of time. Nice, you can strop it up really well. And as we look at our sharpening choil, our plunge grind begins here, tapers down and ends right about here. So we do have a fair amount of sharpening life before you would need to extend that choil. However, because this is running on internal stop pins, you could extend that if you needed to. Look at the way all the edges are chamfered after they come off the contouring of the scales. It really does make for a comfortable grip. A full-size knife, carries beautifully. Here's the carry profile real quick next to our PM2. And as you can see, even though it's a little longer overall than the PM2, it's going to carry as a smaller package. So that's the Kansept Deadite. And now I'm going to tell you the crazy deal. So these run right about $2.25 everywhere, $2.30 for this version. But during Prime Day deals, you can get this version. There's only a few left with the 80s camo carbon. You can get this version for $186. That's it. $186. Plus, they have a lava flow fat carbon, and then they have a black rose fat carbon or a shred, and those are only $159 right now. less than $160 for contoured titanium and fat carbon S35VN. This is a phenomenal knife, and this has a strong chance of ending as my favorite concept of 2025. This is the Kizer Silverwing, the knife that made me eat my words. And before I get into that, I'm going to hit you with some specs. The Silverwing is 7.75 inches overall length with a 3.31 inch S90V or M390, in this case S90V, modified buoy. So we got a Harpoon Clip Point Recurve with a beautiful dual satin finish and flat grind. We have a 4.44 inch handle length, a 160 thousandths blade stock thickness, yes, 4 millimeters of S90V, and a weight of only 4.38 ounces. This titanium frame lock is perfectly centered and is actuated with the dual oversized thumb studs that work great, and or the front flipper. There's the rollover. How about the thumb roll? There we go. I don't know if this is going to hit me with a retrend. I don't have a great grip, and it's not the strongest jimping. Yeah, it's not really reach around approved. I would have liked to see this jimping get finer up and around and go all the way over the top, but that's a minimal concern because the front flipper works great that way. Our titanium scales are very milled out to reduce weight. And then our show side has this beautiful pattern drilled into it. And then we have a titanium overlay. And our titanium overlay and thumb studs and backspacer are all matte DLC coated. And as you can see, there's no visible screw heads on the show side. On our opposite side, our lock side, we have two exposed T8s. One for the body, one for the pivot. I guess three, because one for the thumb stud, and the thumb stud is a T6. No, that's round. That's not even a driver spot at all. So we have the two T8s. Even our lock bar insert is threaded or is screwed from the inside so that we don't see the exposed lock head or screw head, which is really awesome. Our thumb studs also act as external stop pins, and listen to those acoustics. It just the wax out there. And our stop pin for the closed position. Whoop, as I launch the die. The stop pin for the closed position is quite a ways back from your sharpening choil, meaning that if you ever needed to extend this very generous sharpening choil, it does have a kind of a tapered plunge grind, but from here on is sharpening life. And you could extend that if you needed to. This S90V is wicked sharp. This slight recurve will help to trap fibrous materials in there. You've got a belly that you can use for cutting down on a flat surface, or, you know, this really isn't your hunting knife, but skinning or, you know, any slicing that you need the belly for. And you can easily get that tip down in a utility or pinch grip. And it's very comfortable to do so. These scales are milled to meet here like it's like a clamshell construction, except for our backspacer in the back that does act as a hidden lanyard spot. That's the way to do it. Our pocket clip is tip up as the gods intended and right hand only, but look at all of that milling and design on that pocket clip. And the way that they have designed this makes it very comfortable in hand. There is no hot spot whatsoever with that pocket clip. All of this milling is insane. Look at this everywhere. There's over 4 hours of CNC milling on each handle pair for these. The Silverwing is part of the new Premium X series from Kizer, and these are absolutely a step above what we have been seeing from them in the premium knife line, and it is priced accordingly. These were priced like $340 and up. There was 4 versions, M390 or S90V in this blade, or M390 or S90V with a compound grind, and that one was more expensive. But whew, it feels this. If you saw my video on the Chinese Midtech, the Gen X Primark, which is a $560 knife, this Kizer Silverwing beats that Primark for, 60% of the price. I would absolutely carry and use this over that knife. The ergos through here, where you can see how this is all chamfered and rounded off, and then our jimping in here is actually really soft. It's so smooth going around in there that it is just comfortable. We're chamfered off on here as well, and it's a titanium knife that melts in your hand. Some of the most comfortable knives I felt on any type of knife. Folder, fixed blade, Midtech custom. This position is heaven. You've got jimping on the frame and jimping on the blade. Plus, then you've got this poon with jimping, and then you've got that dip up there for your finger and a utility grip. And there, the finger wraps around that comfortable choil area, and it's just locked into my hand comfortably. The jimping back here really helps with traction. This is comfortable in any grip. And I have plenty of room behind the pivot with my extra large size hands. Plus, again, all of that choil area. Look at that gorgeous blade, folks. Look at all that milling in there. This is definitely a step above what we have been seeing from Kizer. You can see it says Kizer, and then has the design there. I'll have to look at that real quick. I forgot. And then Silverwing inside. It doesn't list who the designer is, so this must be an in-house design. They say that it's inspired from the movie Blade Runner. It embodies purpose and determination. Dying for an absolute cause is the most humane thing we can do, says the website. And I don't know about all that, but this feels great. You do have a tritium spot on either side of that front flipper if you want to throw a tritium vial in there. And if these weren't sold out everywhere, I would link them below. But they are sold out everywhere. I can't even get one. But I did want to show you guys what Kizer is capable of. We are going to be seeing some insane knives from them, I believe. They saw that they were being outdone by Kubi and Kansept and everybody else. And they got tired of just kicking out more Militas, I guess. This is a banger. If you get a chance to check one out, I recommend it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know which knife you like. Don't forget that killer Prime Day sale that's going on right now on the Deadite. I hope everybody has a killer day. Stay safe, stay frosty, And most importantly, folks, stay deadly. I had my finger on the lock bar. That was lame. Anyway, out.